Oh, Galamera, Galamera, Galamera. As you can see, what horrible weather we're having today. Absolutely awful. It's been chucking it down. We had a power cut as well at first. That's one of the reasons why I'm a little bit late coming online at the moment. And also, yeah, it's not looking good at the moment. This is what the winter is like here in Zakynthos. I've also noticed as well that my controls to switch my camera around seem to not be there at the moment. Let's see if I can get them to reappear somehow. And all it's done is made my font bigger. Let's see if that might turn it round. Oh, because of the connection with the internet going a little bit haywire because of the weather. I was planning, well, I suppose I can do it this way. You're going to have to bear with me as I switch everything round. I was actually going to have it in the background, the rain tripping down, but now that's going to be in the foreground, and you can see the cars driving up and down. Hopefully no one is going to aquaplane out of control and crash onto the homestead. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the news then. What's been going on in Zakynthos in the last 24 hours and also across Greece. Today, obviously, the 2nd of December, 2020. It's a Wednesday, and it is now day 25 of the lockdown. COVID stats for the last 24 hours are as follows. The Greek Health confirmed on Tuesday night that there was 2,199 new infections, which is up on yesterday, unfortunately, which has taken the total for the total amount of infections since the start of the pandemic to 107,470. Now, of these new cases, 25 were from ports of entry into the country. So again, that's also up on yesterday. As for cases caused by coronavirus, they are scattered throughout the country, mainly in Attica and Thessaloniki. Attica's got 413 new infections and Thessaloniki 538. Larissa also recorded its first three-digit number at 112, and 29 regions at the moment are into double digits. However, on Zakynthos, we've had no new cases whatsoever, which is good. Kefalonia has also had 0 cases. Macarado has 0 cases. However, Corfu has 13 new cases. Once again, just because you have a new case doesn't necessarily mean they actually have the virus. They may be asymptomatic, or they may have had the virus, it's passed through them, and they will still get a positive test when they are tested again. Anyway, 111 new deaths were reported. Unfortunately, that is up on yesterday's figure, taking the total number of fatalities since the pandemic started to 2,517. The average age of those people is 80 years of age. Now, the total number of incubated patients in the ICUs, that has come down ever so slightly. At the moment, there's 596. The average age of these people is around about 65 years of age, while 575 have actually left the ICUs. 429 of those who have been through the ICUs at the moment are male, and 167 are female. The average age of those is about 65 years of age. However, they do have underlying health issues, and some of them are over 70 as well. Also, there are a few sporadic cases of younger people who have got the virus and are in intensive care, but no more information on any of that. Now, even though there are signs that the pandemic is relenting in some ways, health experts here still insist that lifting the restrictive measures will depend on the Greek healthcare system's ability to cope normally. Now, despite the fact that the cases are decreasing, incubations are still remaining high, pushing the system to the brink, as the Greeks are saying. Based on the data, it looks like the partial lifting of restrictions, which was due to be on the 7th of December, is now looking like it's going to be ruled out. It's now expected that it may be postponed by 1 week to December the 14th, with the prevailing scenario being a gradual opening of retail stores. However, the Greek Prime Minister, Mitsotakis, said on Monday at a cabinet meeting, our path may be slower, but it will be safer and more secure. And above all, it must be a road without setbacks. We should not talk with dates, but with data. Anyway, he's hinting basically that the government goal is now clear to avoid a third lockdown at all costs, as it would be catastrophic for the economy. In order for this to happen, the reopening of the economy must be done very conservatively, which means that the prospect of restaurants opening for the Christmas holidays is becoming increasingly less likely. A number of experts to whom the government has been turning are now calling for the measures to be extended till December the 21st. However, the questions of schools opening remains up in the air also, and it will obviously be, if they do decide to reopen on the 21st of December, the schools wouldn't even be open for a week. All right, so is it worth reopening them and then obviously shutting again for the Christmas period? Anyway, meanwhile, on Monday, the health authorities announced the number of new infections eased, but deaths and incubations remain high. Anyway, follow-up testing for the employees of the regional unit of Zakynthos was completed on Monday by the mobile unit of Greek Health, and once again the results for all 74 employees was negative, which is very encouraging for Zakynthos. The first sampling took place 2 weeks after an employee of the service tested positive while visiting her daughter in Athens. You might remember that was the talk of the island. Not only had she been in Athens, but she'd also been on official business in Corfu, and she tested positive while she was up in Athens. Anyway, after that, it was decided that it was advisable to test where she worked on Zakynthos. Anyway, they had their first test, that they were all negative, and again, their follow-up test was completed on Monday, and it looks like they are all okay. Now, interestingly, you may remember I'd also reported that Argasi had also had a 3-day testing cycle over the weekend. Everybody there tested negative, and it seems that since that testing, and an appeal went out by one of the nurses of the testing down in that location, more communities on the island are coming forward and asking for tests to be conducted in their local areas. One of those is Kato Gerika. That informed its residents that they would be doing tests in the community office for anybody who wanted them. Also, it was told that people can do tests as well in the Eka Medical Centre in town as well. Little bit of traffic there. People tooting their horns, saying hello. Nice to see. Anyway, some good news then. The local press yesterday reported that the slip road for access to the site of the new waste management project facilities in Liver has now been finally completed. This means that work can now start on the site where the new landfill and the new recycling facilities will all be placed. Anyway, one of the issues raised by the environmental services was they needed a decent way to get all their equipment, get their vehicles up and down, and also when the site is completed, be able to get their vehicles to and from the site without too much trouble. Well, anyway, the project has now been completed, the road is now in, and it means now that the next step can now move forward, which is the building and the setting up of the actual recycling and landfill location, which is something that this island has been wanting for many, many years now, because rubbish here is obviously a main issue on the island, especially in the summer when we have more tourists and we have more rubbish as well. Anyway, don't normally talk about the weather, but at the moment it seems rather appropriate. the weather service here in Greece has reported that there's been a cold snap across Greece in the early hours of Tuesday, which sent temperatures in the north of the country plunging to -8 degrees Celsius. And in Florina and Kozanae, it was at -4 over there as well. Crete and the islands of the Sporades in the western Aegean, meanwhile, were hit by heavy showers. And as I say that, the heavens have absolutely opened up, all right, and rainfall as much as 58 centimetres in Aklionis. In Hania, they've had 32 centimetres, and Glossa in the Isle of Skelops has also had 32 centimetres as well. So they've had a lot of heavy rain there. So no reports of any flooding as yet, but I will keep my eye on that. They're also saying that parts of the Ionian have been slammed by some tough weather as well. Well, at the moment, yeah, we'll wait and see if it gets worse here where we are in Zakynthos, all right? But also the eastern Peloponnese have also been told to get ready for some wet weather. So it sounds like breaking out the umbrellas. Anyway, a little bit of happy news again from the weather is the city of Trikala officially lit up Greece's tallest natural Christmas tree for 2020. However, they decided to do the switch on online, okay, obviously because of the restrictions due to the COVID-19, and it went very well by all accounts. So anyway, I think the mayor of the town switched the lights on via the internet. The Christmas tree, if you're curious, is actually 33 metres tall, which after checking this morning, that's 108 feet tall, completely natural Christmas tree, and they decorated it as everything with garlands and lights, and it has a big star on the top of it as well. And they've also decorated the Christmas ornaments around the park, and it's actually located in Iron Polytechnico Square in Trikala. I've never been to Trikala, so I don't know what that's like, all right? But anyway, they got their Christmas tree up. Anyway, the municipality of Trikala stated, the joy of Christmas warms the hearts of all even more during the difficult time of the pandemic. So there you go, bless. Right, let's have a quick look and see who's tuning in. I can see lots of people having a look in at the moment. Probably some people giggling a bit slightly because we're having crap weather where you've been having bad weather. It's nice to get your own back, isn't it? Anyway, Graham Bint is tuning in all the way from Australia, where our helicopters are now doing their job, fighting fires down there, or ready to fight fires down there, which is good, yeah, because Greece sends its helicopter, or 4 helicopters, to Australia to help with the bushfires in the winter, which I never knew about until earlier this week. So anyway, nice to have you tuning in, Graham. Who else have we got? Oh, crumbs, it's moving about here, crazy. People are dropping messages like mad. Denise Tyndall is watching as well. Nice to see you looking in there, Denise. I'll give you a wave back. Also, Lyndon is watching as well. I hope you're doing all right, Lyndon. I know you've been in a few dark places at the moment. It's very dark here at the moment as well with the weather. But anyway, hopefully we will see you back here next year, all right? I do know that I think you've also been one of those who's been booking their flights for getting over, all right? Just quick one about flights. For those people who are booking EasyJet at the moment, yes, I think the greatness of going hand luggage has gone now. EasyJet announced yesterday that they're stopping that service where you could bring, you know, hand luggage, and as long as it was a certain size, which was very generous because there was no weight limit. The size was pretty reasonable. You didn't actually need to bring a suitcase. Well, I think those days have gone. The new dimensions of the cases that they want people to bring as hand luggage must be able to fit under the seat in front of you while you're on the aircraft, or else otherwise you're going to have to buy luggage. And I know a few people have been passing comments about that online. Danielle, as Rogers, I know, was one person who's not very happy about that. And we're not happy either, especially after we got vouchers for flights. We're wondering if it will still stand that we can take normal hand luggage with those vouchers that we had, because we'd had flights. Basically, we didn't want a refund. We just wanted to change our flights. Anyway, we'll wait and see. Anyway, Laura Loza Hitchcock is also tuning in. Nice to see you here, Lauren. Nice to have you. Charles Ballantyne, Chick Ballantyne in Cyprus is looking in. Dennis Patrick Carroll is watching as well from Cyprus. What's the weather like there, fellas? Is the weather good, or are you having rain like us, or is it beautiful sunshine in Cyprus? Christine Wildridge is also tuning in. Nice to have you as well. Tim Crystal over there in Oxford is choosing in. Tim the King, our Elvis tribute, is looking in. Also, Susie Angus is looking in as well. She's also a tribute act over here that comes in the summer. Nice to have you checking in and seeing how things are going. Tim Crystal, he says, morning, hope you and Jane are well and good. Yeah, well, Jane had actually just been out doing a bit of training and literally got 3/4 of the way round before the heavens opened. Obviously, when she got back, the power cut was still on. But now we've got the power back, and that's why I'm talking to you. And she's having a hot shower and obviously warming herself back up. I think it's time for a cup of coffee after this broadcast, definitely. Anyway, Andrew the Fridge Watkins is watching all the way from Wales. So, hey up, he goes, que sera, sera. Thanks, mate. Whatever will be. Big Al Thompson is watching as well. Sophie Smith is watching. Donna Harriatis is watching over there in lovely Brighton. What's the weather like in Brighton today, Donna? Let me know. Jason C. Bennett is watching as well. Heather Nash is watching. Sunny Felger is watching from Opus. And that reminds me just to say a quick hello to the guys from Opus. I am also going to be playing their new record on my show this afternoon, which I was dropped a copy of it earlier in the week. So I'm really looking forward with the video as well. The video is really nicely done. It has a bit of ahas about it, the video. And Sunny comes to Zakynthos. Opus have been coming here for a number of years. And I've just had a message coming. Still a terrible accent. Thank you, Andrew the Fridge Watkins. Anyway, thank you for that, Sunny. Nice to have you tuning in as well. And all our viewers over there in Austria. Which is really nice as well. Alan Parks is also watching as well. He's quite used to the weather like this because even when it's raining, it's always sunny in Catterick, all right? That was the philosophy that we grew up by. So anyway, nice to have you tuning in, Al. Andrew the Fridge Watkins from a slightly drier Wales. Thank you, Andrew. Sam Curtis is watching in, the birthday boy from last week. You're tuning in. Lovely to have you tuning in as well. Diane Camp is also watching as well. Linda Gary is watching from Essex. Sam Curtis, he says, morning DJ Ginge and Jane. Cloudy and sunny spells here. How are you? Well, I think you know how I am. I'm actually feeling quite good, despite the weather being not very nice. Anyway, Brian Foster is watching as well. Anita Christofulia, yeah, I think I probably have murdered your name, but anyway, is it Agneta? Agneta Christofulia. I've got a feel, I'm not sure if that's a Greek name or whether it could be somewhere from Scandinavia. Anyway, lovely to have you tuning in from wherever you are. Great to see you. Graham Chisholm is also watching as well. Heather Nash says, morning matey, we're up early today to listen live. Hope you and Jane are keeping well. Miss you both. Well, considering I've got out late this morning because of the weather and the power cut. Anyway, nice to have you. Gary Butler is also tuning in as well. Nice to see you here as well, Gary. Patsy Ann Dobson says, good morning, Ginge and Jane. Cold but dry here in Margate. Stay safe. Anyway, nice to have you looking in. Christine Coldwell is also tuning in as well from Lloyd's Pharmacy. A bit of a panic yesterday about Lloyd's. Are they closing? I know they're closing lots of pharmacies down. But after Arcadia Group went under yesterday, so if you're a fan of Burton's, Topshop, Debenhams, etc. They all seem to, that has now gone into the hands of the receiver. This is why we need to have the economies back to normal. Let the virus take its course, protect the old. Let's get back to work. And I've also heard stories this morning checking that some of these vaccines now, there has been reports that they cause infertility in women. That's one of the side effects of one of these vaccines, and more work is being done on those at the moment. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, and again, Christine is a frontline worker. Working in the pharmacy over there in Leighton Buzzard. Anyway, nice to have you tuning in and checking. Heather Nash, she says, I used to love sitting on the balcony when we had a good storm. Well, yeah, there were times when you come on holiday, and depending on when you come over, it is quite nice sitting on the balcony. But I've got to be honest, it's a bit chilly at the moment to be sitting on the balcony in the storm, and you can't exactly plug an electric fire in on the balcony, can you? Because you never know what might happen. Anyway, Jack Harmer is tuning in. John Bailey's tuning in. Alf Ling is tuning in. Andrew the Fridge Watkins, still a terrible accent. Laugh out loud. John Davis is watching as well. Dealer Gutsy, which is the daughter of Dennis, is also tuning in. I don't know where you are, if you're back in Finland or whether you are somewhere in Greece. But anyway, lovely to have you tuning in as well, seeing and checking on the old homestead. John Bailey is also tuning in. He says it's cold here in Swindon. Well, thank you there, John. Right, so what have we got on today? Just remind you that today is Wednesday, so that means it's a live broadcast day from me. Once again, I'm going to be showcasing the new single from Opus. That is in the show. Also, as well, just to let you know that I'm broadcasting at 3 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. Greek time, and the show goes out on Facebook, on my own Facebook page, but also on the Magdalena's Bar and Studio page as well. I've now linked the two together. It also goes out on Twitch, where you can see the pictures and hear the music while it's live. It also goes out on Mixcloud, where you can see the pictures and hear the music live. And it is saved to Mixcloud after the broadcast, but only as an audio. And it's also saved to Twitch, but again, with the pictures, but the audio is muted at times for copyright infringement, which is a bit of a pain. But you can hear the whole show as an audio at your leisure on Mixcloud. Once again, any requests, any dedications, anything like that, pop them in the comments below, all right, and I'll pick them up from there. Thank you to Robbo. I got your message this morning. I will be playing your tune that you asked for, and anybody else who wants requests or dedications, wants to say hello to anybody, by all means, just pop it in the little box below. Right, that's it from me, and guess what? The rain has stopped, or it's abated, and I will speak to you. Well, I'll be broadcasting you again 3 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. Greek time. Enjoy the show. I'll be back with more news and updates for you tomorrow morning. Ta-ra, and have a good day. Bye-bye.